I sort of had the same feeling when I lost my first case. But then when I started losing more cases, that feeling was gone. The most significant expenses you will incur would certainly be the and
What's the most difficult part of being a barrister?
well, the hardest part I'd say would be to survive. Honestly, our profession is quite saturated. Every year there are a lot of newly called young barristers, yet not a lot of people are retiring, and the number of cases is certainly not increasing. In fact, I'd say that the number of cases, especially for civil cases, is in a downward trend because of the introduction of ADRs such as mediation. So it is really getting harder and harder to survive in the bar.
When barristers change their professions, what do they do?
Obviously, some would join the DOJ and become government counsels or public prosecutors. Some would join the judiciary and become magistrates and judges. It is slightly harder for barristers to go in-house because we lack some of the experience those companies are looking for. Oh, and of course, some would debar and take some exams and then become solicitors.
How did you feel when you lost your first case?
I still remember that back in my secondary school days, I used to join a lot of competitions, music festival, speech festival, inter-school sports competitions, etc. and etc. I hated losing at that time. I sort of had the same feeling when I lost my first case. But then when I started losing more cases, that feeling was gone. A counsel can always only be as good as the evidence. So as long as I have done all the research, I have finished all the preparation, and given my best to fight for my client's interests, I would not have any regrets.
How much should I save as a PCLL graduate, in order to sustain the first 2 years as a pupil and junior barrister?
You will have to pay for the bar annual fees and the insurance policy, but these won't be very expensive when you are still junior. The most significant expenses you will incur would certainly be the rent and chambers fees. If you are going to keep a room, whether you're sharing or not, you will likely need to pay for at least 15K a month. For more expensive chambers in grade A office buildings, the rent together with chambers fees might go up to around 80K per month. But I think the normal range would be from 15 to 40K, and if you choose to become a door tenant, the fees per month would be around 8 to 10K.
What trainings would you suggest HKU to add for all future lawyers?
I think one of the difficulties newly qualified barristers face is that we don't know a lot of common practices in the magistrates' courts, the district court, or the high court. For example, if you are prosecuting a case, how should you prepare the exhibits beforehand? Do you need to label the exhibits? There may be different practices in various mag courts, district court, or high court, or there may even be different practices between different judges. So in order to tackle this problem, the lack of knowledge about the common practices, I think Hong Kong University can invite more practitioners to share their experiences with PCLL students and let them know more about how the real world operates. Well, of course, this is not going to be an easy path, but I'm sure as long as you are willing to take on the challenges, this would be a rewarding path for you all.